How's it going, my friends? Today's video is going to be about the speed of Bleach, what I actually think Kubo is going for. As you can hear from my voice, I don't have my new mic in, nor do I have my new laptop, but I hope that doesn't affect your enjoyment of this video. With that being said, if you do like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I do have a community page where I do post videos that I'll probably do, this video being one of them. So go do vote and comment on that if you want me to do a specific video. With that being said, I'll just get right into this. So how fast is Bleach? Well, I would definitely say that just consistently, the most consistent is that they are massively faster than light. That is the most consistent out of all the different things. So in the first arc, they introduced Ceros and they introduced Quincy arrows. In Can't Fear Your Own World, as well as the guides, the Ceros are said to be light. In Can't Fear Your Own World, it said like 7 times bare minimum. In Can't Fear Your Own World, it states for Quincy arrows, it's 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times. Then there's also the guide stating that Quincy arrows are light twice. Then in a guide it says the Cero is light once. Then Urahara says that the Quincy arrows are light as well. So just from multiple different sources, novels, characters within the verse, and even the guides, they're all saying these things are light. So I would say pretty consistent. The intention of it is for it to be light. So in the starting arcs, they're light speed or relativistic, however you want to say it. Some calcs being like, oh, relativistic. Some calcs being like, oh, they're 2 times light speed. Whatever calc you're going with, they're around that ballpark. Then in the Soul Society arc, when they're going to the Soul Society, they're running from the Cleaner. And the Cleaner actually is going back in time with them. They go back in time 7 days. And if you do know, if you go light speed, theoretically, you could go back in time. So I think this is Kubo's way of being like, hey, this thing that usually happens when you're light speed, these characters are just doing it, like just directly. So this is just another way to be like, okay, Kubo's going for this. All right, we're in this light speed tier, faster than light around that. Of course, running back in time would be immeasurable speed, but I don't think Kubo is like, yes, they have immeasurable speed and it's going for that. But obviously it can be argued, but that's not the intention of this video. Then we have things like the negation. Exhausted freaking lieutenants can dodge it. So it's like, obviously, Shuhei with no spiritual pressure. Oh, bro, we got the great suck from you. Okay, he lost his spiritual pressure. Let me not make jokes like that. This is a serious video for all my serious scalers out there, or anybody that's just curious how fast Bleach is. So just them being exhausted and still being able to dodge it, that just also further goes to, all right, they're in this light speed tier, like just some basic scaling multipliers. They could be like 10s, 20s, 30s, FTL, whatever, dude. Some calcs being like, oh, 100 times light speed. Others being like, oh, blocking toe stroke 2 times. Like, okay, whatever. They're just in this general FTL, 10s, 100s, FTL. So then we have Memories of Nobody, where Senna literally just makes explosions all around the 2 universes, which is insanely FTL for all those explosions to be able to travel all that distance. So that's very high tier into FTL. Millions, billions, trillions. it's beyond all of that. But that's not really that consistent. There's no really set, oh, we're this FTL, we're this FTL, because just the scaling that you use for Quincy and Ceros, that's just the baseline speed they have for it. So it could be that they are in this millions times FTL, billions, beyond all that, just at the end of the Soul Society arc, but maybe not. Whatever you think that it's going for, but I would say that probably not. But it is something that it could be, especially since in Hellverse, Ichigo's traveling through multiple universes in just a couple of seconds. So I do think that it is plausible that this is accurate. I do think it is plausible. So just with those out, we have them being able to, like, the Espada, as well as anybody that's just in that general tier, being able to destroy Las Noches. Las Noches has a star in it. So just doing that, that's like 300 times FTL just by how fast it would be, from just like estimations on just the explosions that we do see, such as Lambda de Lampargo, and how fast it does expand. So just saying that it could be just in the 100 times FTL, pretty consistent with last arc. Yami is like pretty relative to Bankai Ichigo, so just use a ground Racero and it'll be able to blow it up. Few 100 times FTL, like pretty consistent, So then there's just like a 72 times FTL calc for Shinsui dodging Stark if they're just at light speed. So just in this general arc right here, it's pretty solid. They're in the hundreds times FTL. Could be millions times FTL with Memories of Nobody as well as Hellverse. Well, I say millions of times FTL, but I'll probably just throw up the calc, and it's much beyond millions, billions, and trillions. Okay, when you see the E, you know we're in some big numbers. Okay, but I digress. So just the general going ons would be, they're absurdly FTL going by the movies, and just being conservative, they're like, oh, okay, they're into these hundreds, maybe thousands. I have a calc for Ichigo blocking Ukiura being in the thousands of times FTL, depending on what time frame you use, even getting close to the hundreds of thousands times FTL. So it isn't that far-fetched, in all honesty, that they could be this insanely high just by these lower end calcs just saying that their light speed would be that high. So like just in the hundreds of thousands to tens of thousands. So it's not that far-fetched. So hundreds, tens of thousands, hundreds again, just with like different means. So just vaguely around that tier. Then we have the Lost Asian arc. We don't really have any speed feats for this, besides that one calc I have for Ichigo destroying Yukio's dimension, which was like 300 times FTL. So pretty similar to the Espadas. They're just able to destroy it like pretty fast. So nothing really there. But then we had the 1,000-Year Blood War, where we have the Ashwellian calc. So that's pretty high, millions. So pretty conservatively, we can be like, at the end of the series, these characters, if you're a high tier, are in the millions times FTL. Then there is with these movies, they're way beyond that, just like very early, so they're just absurdly FTL. And then obviously Yuha, people that actually scale to God Yuha, having tiers of infinities, being like, okay, I can traverse infinite in just like finite time. You can make like other arguments for people having infinite speed, such as like Senna, since she's able to make explosions that go up, so that would be like infinity. So there are just different arguments that you could be like, he could be going for that, since like we have the Senna thing, Hell is arguably infinite, Ichigo traversing that. We have Kagerosa, Ichigo being able to like move while he's teleporting. We have Yuha being able to send his SP. So there is other things that you could be like, all right, it could be that Kubo's either going for these characters being absurdly FTL, or infinite speed, or just being conservative at the very end, or like millions of times FTL. So I know I did say that I was just gonna say what I think and just how it is, but I would say it's just one of those three things. The immeasurable speed thing, I do think that in a versus battle algorithm, that is what the feat actually is, but I don't think that's what Kubo was going for. I think it's more so that, this is like a light speed thing, so he's just supporting that. But if we do put it in a versus algorithm, it would be immeasurable speed. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. I'm out. Bye.
The key to love is also loving yourself. Now, love is a very complicated thing. Look at love like a game. Everything is a game. Look at love like a game. In order for your partner to respect you, you have to respect yourself. But in the same context, you also have to compromise for them. So it's a very complicated idea. I was disappointed because obviously no one will be able to compromise for me fully, because I would give my all and put my all into things, and I would just never be compensated for the love I would give. So as far as compromise, for one, don't put your pride in the fucking relationship. The shit doesn't work. It makes the shit harder than it needs to be. It makes it complicated. It makes everything hard. Do not put your ego in a relationship. Do not be afraid to blow up your lover's phone. It's the ones that are annoying that love you. It's the ones that will sit there and blow you up for hours and check on you 24/7 and annoy the fuck out of you that care. It's okay to be annoying. Don't try and publicize, I'd say publicize your love in the same context, like show people you're happy. But when you start showing people what you got going on in your personal life, that's when people feel the need to get involved, or people get in the middle and fuck everything up. Keep your relationship to yourself.